Anyways, guys, we got some bye week activity with the haircut. Gotta get ready. Hockey season's in full swing as well right now. But yeah, Rams are not playing this week, so don't expect me to really care about these games. But we still have a whole schedule to go through. Thank God it's the lightest we'll have until the last week of the season. But that's all I got for you guys here. Let's get this thing going because there's a lot of games to still get through. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy this Week 8 NFL Sunday predictions. We'll be going through all the games that are going on this Sunday. There's actually 11 of them. I already mentioned that. Again, we look back to up to Week 17. That is thank God, the next week, or not really. The next week, that's, again, the lightest on the schedule. Again, there's only 10 games, I think, that are that Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, there are only 11 games we'll be going through today. 7 games in the early window, 3 in the later windows, and also Sunday Night Football, which we'll get to last. Again, if you want to go watch it, just go to the timestamp. You'll be able to see that, or all the games you want to see my predictions on there as well. Anyway, though, for the first time since Week 3, again, it's been a minute now that I think about it, we do have a game that we don't have an international game, which is good because, I mean, I don't really love them. I mean, the game last week wasn't good, even though the Rams were playing in it too. But anyway, we'll get into teams on a bye, I guess, when we get over to the how good this game is in a little bit. But anyway, for the Dolphins, they come in at 1-6. They're absolutely atrocious, as you guys all know. They're not, again, absolute dumpster fire. They're not as bad as the Jets, though, technically, which I guess is up for them. That's the only team they've actually beaten as well. When they play them like week, what was it, 16 or 17 or 18? I don't even know when they play them next. That'll be a fun game to watch. But anyway, again, Tua is still their starting quarterback. A lot of talks with him being benched were mentioned again in the rumor mill, but really doesn't matter. Again, they're going to suck anyway in this game. But again, they'll win all the games after this because, again, this is their worst record since 2021. And especially last week against the Browns, they didn't play well at all. So they only put up 6 points. Jalen Waddle sucked. Their entire defense kind of imploded as well as they got absolutely ran over by Quinshon Judkins to the tune of a 31-6 blowout loss. But at the end of the day, it's just the Dolphins, so who really cares? Falcons on the other side, coming off a disappointing performance last week. Versus the, how am I just not looking? Again, there we go, Niners. So they were only able to muster up 10 points after that massive win they had, again, a short week ago against the Bills on that Monday Night Football. Tapestry or canvas, whatever you want to call it. Again, they play back-to-back primetime games, mixed results to say the least, but their defense overall has been a stout group, despite maybe not being the greatest against Christian McCaffrey last week. With that said, though, this game will be at 1 o'clock on CBS, NFL Plus, and Paramount Plus will be the ways you guys can stream this game. The Dolphins haven't been to Atlanta in 8 years. Do not want to talk about that game because I don't even care about what even happened in that game. But they did play in 2021, and the Falcons actually dropped the Dolphins to 1-6. These were the final records after that game as they won 30-28, and it was actually a very entertaining, despite a relevant game at the end of the day. Anyway, and that was also in Week 7 that year. Anyway, Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, Melanie Collins, unfortunately, have to call this game. On the map, you can see it's in blue. Again, the whole entire southeast part of the country is getting this game, especially the deep south. So again, if you're looking to get some fried chicken, this might not be the game to do it because again, you got to be worried about this football game. Back on topic here, though. For the Dolphins, their starting lineup, you got Tua at quarterback, Devon Achane in the backfield. Julian Hill, their starting tight ends, out as Greg. Darren Waller went on IR for unbeknownst to me. But again, if we can, I'm trying to use that word right, too. If we can load into this, which we probably won't be able to. Offensive line is also healthy for the guys that have been playing recently. Again, the guys that haven't been are probably pretty good. Okay. It's not season ending, but it's not good. We'll just put it like that. Anyway, though, for this defense, I honestly don't even care about them. Again, Cater Carroll is the only injured guy that's actually injured. Everyone else has been healthy. They're just booty cheeks, though. Their edge rushers are good, though. Hopefully they trade all of them. That's all I got for the Dolphins, though, because, again, there's really no point in spending time on them when, again, why would you waste time on a bad team? Michael Penis Jr. is questionable. Kirk O'Chains would start if he can't go. Alligator's questionable in the backfield. The rest of this offense is healthy. It is actually crazy to see that David Sills freaking the fifth, who, again, was a bum practice squad player for the Giants, is now their third receiver. Kyle Pitts has been pretty good this year, though. O-line is good and healthy. Zach Harrison's questionable. Devon Diablo, who is massive for them past couple weeks, will be out. So J.G. Bertrand, who wasn't very good last week, will start. Jalen Walker also is out off the edge, who's been a little bit disappointing. His numbers have definitely left a lot to be desired. Despite the other guy on the other side, where is he? James Pierce not being a whole lot better. Again, also, though, Kane Ellis and, where is he? Arnold Ibikidi have done a solid job, even though, not Kane Ellis. But Leonard Floyd's definitely done a good job, even though, they haven't really put up the craziest numbers. The interior of the D-line has obviously been good, too, except Ruka Waro, because he was a terrible pick. Their secondary, Billy Bowman's out again. There's really nothing else changing there. Again, you know what's up there. Parker Roma, Bradley Washington, and a bunch of randos round out the Falcons special teams unit. This game, especially for me, is just the one that I really have no interest in watching. It would be funny if the Falcons put up 50 on them. They probably won't, though. This is just a game that I think is completely irrelevant. I mean, Kevin Hartley makes me probably want to at least listen to it, but realistically, this game's going to suck. I don't know. This is going to be a boring game for me. The Falcons are going to obviously win it, but I'm not going to say this game's going to be particularly close either. The Dolphins continue to reel, but this game really isn't that interesting, unlike last game. So 24-12 is the final score I have for this game. Now let's get to a game that might even be worse. Our next game in CBS's other regional game in the early window is they only have 3 total games in the early window. Again, as they do have the doubleheader this week. We have the Jets and Bengals. Also to mention, teams on the bye this week are the Cardinals and Raiders, both at 2-5. The Seahawks and Rams are both 5-2. The Lions are also 5-2, and then the Jags are at 4-3. Those are your 6 teams on the bye this week. Only 16 bye this entire season as well, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, back to this game. Bengals. Again, I don't care about the Jets. They suck. We all know they do. They benched, again, turmoil, I guess, in the locker room with, again, very important decision going to Tyrod Taylor as their starting quarterback. But, Bengals have won back-to-back games after they dropped, not back-to-back. They bounced back last week on Thursday Night Football. Again, coming off their mini bye for this game. As again, they were able to put 33 points. T. Higgins obviously went off. Jamar Chase went more off, even though he was really just force-fed by Joe Flacco in that game. But again, what that win showed against the Steelers, again, really just a convoluted way to saying that Joe Flacco can make this offense look presentable, which again they weren't before he pulled up, considering they lost 4 straight. But anyway, the Bengals are in a decent spot. Jets obviously are not, as, again, neither one of these teams really want to have the season how they've really have gone the way they've wanted to. But, I mean, at least the Bengals are like, I don't know, maybe something happens here. This game, though, like I said, will be at 1 o'clock on CBS, NFL Plus, Paramount Plus are the ways you can stream this. Again, if you, I guess, are going to stream it. But anyway, Jets have been here a couple of times. I think last time was actually way back in 2019 when the Bengals got their first win of the season, 22-6. That's when freaking Sam Darnold was still the Jets quarterback. And I think they were actually not looking too awful at that point. But yeah, they have not been here in a long time. 2019 is pretty crazy. But weather for this game, 59 degrees, a little bit of wind, and partly cloudy. So again, realistically for late October, not the worst. You can see Spiro Diaz, Adam Archuleta, and the DC King Kumbala are going to be announcing this game. So CBS is like 8th team or something like that. I don't even know. It's in green. You can see like really none in the country's getting this game. It's an irrelevant game as well. But for the Jets, again, like I said, Tyrod Taylor is questionable because he's probably going to get his stabbed by his doctor again. Who knows? Breece Hall is questionable. He hasn't really done much all year. Keenan Nwangwu is really the only juice they had last week. Garrett Wilson's out once again. Josh Reynolds is questionable, which means that Arian Smith might be their number 1 receiver this week, which again tells you not much is really going well. Mason Taylor's kind of gotten abused so far this season. He really wasn't ready to be a starting tight end, but again, he's questionable. Jeremy Ruckert's also there. Stone Smart's out. Offensive line, I don't even care about. Jay Tafulu, a guy who actually does play, is out for this game. Cam Jones, I don't know who this is. Really have no clue who the hell this guy is. Who the hell are you? Bro, who is this guy? Like, I'm so confused. They're actually starting bums on this defense. Like, what the hell is going on? I've never heard of this dude. I'm actually mad I don't know who this guy is. Like, Jets, you that's just awful. But anyway, Kobe King will start. They're not in a good situation. Quincy Williams is... How do they... Again, I love Madden ratings, guys, if you don't know. Madden ratings are... Again, if you want to learn about football players and how good they are, you just go check Madden ratings. But, Quincy Williams... How do you go down in Madden rating when you're injured? That's actually stupid. Like, I really, again, whatever, back on this, though. Sauce is out. Azari Thomas should start, even though he's kind of been completely awful this season. The rest of the secondary is healthy. I don't even care what the freaking special team unit. They can, I don't know, start again, the TikTok guy who's a kicker. Anyway, though, you look at this offense, they're completely healthy. Oh, no, Joe Burrow. I'm not trying to slander nobody. But that's what I got there. Jalen Rivers is starting because he's young and he's not good. I don't know. Trey Anderson's questionable. Miles Murphy, Jamar Stewart are also there. Cam Sample, I guess, plays, but he's doubtful. Marco Wilson's doubtful at corner, but again, that's not really a bad thing either. Again, their defense is healthy, and even though they've been bad. Evan McPherson, Ryan Raquel, Charlie Jones, and William Wagner round things out there. Will Wagner, that's like a name from like the 1850s. Like, throwback right there. But anyway, for this game, realistically, it's going to go right next to this Falcons game. Like, this game just sucks. There's no way around that. For who's going to win it, I don't even care who wins it. The Bengals are obviously going to win it. I'm going to say the Jets actually score some points, though, because of how bad the Bengals defense is. Not that many, though. Bengals win this one 34-16. Get this game out of my face. All right, now, first of 3 Fox regional games we'll get to. Again, this is the Bills and the Panthers. Arguably the best matchup in the early window. This is probably the best matchup in the early window. As the 4-2 Bills, coming off back-to-back losses in their bye week, look to Or not, yeah, they're bye week. That's actually crazy now to think about it. Whatever, they're shortened-ish bye week because they had to play Monday night. Head to Carolina searching for answers as they have really offensively not been the greatest the past 2 games. Their defense hasn't been able to stop a cold either. So it's not really looking too hot for the Bills right now. But at the end of the day, they're going into a Carolina Panthers team that is not very talented despite winning 3 straight and without their starting quarterback. And this again, is a game like we saw the Chargers on Thursday night. That should be a bounce back for them. But again, especially who they have next week, again, they'll be hosting a pretty big matchup next week. I think so, right? Is the game next week home? I think it is. I'm already revealing what it is, but yeah, the Bills are home. They're gonna be the Chiefs are heading to town next week, so they're gonna have to figure out again a way to win this game. But anyway, Panthers, like I said, have won 3 straight. But as I already mentioned, Bryce Young will not be playing this game. As he has a hammy or something injury. He's again the booster seat. Bryce is not really the most elegant quarterback out there, as you all know. But still, they were able to beat the Jets last week. Again, they had a pretty impressive win against the Cowboys in Week 6. But at the end of the day, guys, this offense does not look very good. If it wasn't for, I don't know, J.C. Horn getting burnt and then baiting whoever the heck the Jets quarterback was last week, I don't even remember, and throwing picks, they would have won that game. There you go. Like that grammar right there. Yeah. But anyway, the Panthers they're not great. We all know that. But still, we'll see what happens. Bills have not been here in 8 years. Still don't care again about that game. But they did play 4 years ago in Buffalo. And that was, again, another game that the Bills were trying to bounce back. I think that's when they started to turn the corner that year. But, of course, that was the infamous year that, 13 seconds and, Grim Reaper and Mahomes and all that stuff. This game, though, will be at 1 o'clock on Fox. Fox 1 is the way you guys can stream it. I think NFL Plus too, but who really knows at this point. Announcing this game will be Adam Mean, Greg Olson, Pam Oliver. This game is obviously outside, so Charlotte area, you get 62 degrees, 8 mile per hour winds, mostly cloudy. Pretty ideal temps for, again, a non-ideal temp quarterback. Map is an absolute disaster, but it's going to be in orange, and it's really not a ton of the country, but I think it does get a little bit more share than a couple of the other games. Maybe I might be wrong on that, though. But anyway, Bills starting lineup. Josh Allen's at quarterback. James Cook and Ty Johnson are in the backfield. Ray Davis might get a couple touches. No, he definitely will. Joshua Palmer's out once again, despite him being their most explosive receiver so far this year. Curtis Samuel's there as well. Ken Coleman needs to step up. Khalil Shakir's kind of been off. Dalton King is questionable, and the offensive line's healthy. Defensively, Daquan Jones, there's run stuffing. Not really, but he's out. Larry Ogunjobi's there. Joan Walker got out there as well. Sorry, I'm talking so fast. I just want to get through this a little bit faster. You can see the edge rushers are good to go. Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard, both starting linebackers, are questionable. Shaq Thompson's been a little bit okay. And then Joe Andreessen, obviously, is not very good. They don't even have a starting safety right now. They're kind of a mess in the secondary, but they'll figure it out. Matt Prater's kicker. Mitch Wisnowski's their punter. For the Panthers, they have... again, like I said, Andy Dalton will probably make the start. He really wasn't good at all last week, though, and again, he can't move in the pocket. Chuba Hubbard, I guess he'll start. Again, I think they should trade him, if you ask me, or Rico Dowdle, who knows. Trade one of them, though. Trevor Etienne, I guess, might get out there. Definitely not, because these guys are going to you got to run the ball like 50 times. Ted McMillan is looking to have another, again, a solid week after not really doing much last week, and he had a big Week 6 as well. Xavier got his best game of the season last week, I think, if I remember that right. Jalen Coker was pretty good. No, he's back. That's actually crazy. He'll probably have an 80-yard touchdown in his return. Jadavion Sanders is a tight end. Offensive line is healthy. Defensively, honestly, they're completely healthy. Show Smith-Wade has been a standout player, though, this year as well. This is a game that honestly I'm going to put indecent. I know the matchup doesn't really seem that, but again, just the fact that both these teams are not these teams, but the dynamics both these teams are in different spots. I think could definitely make it at least a decent game. But realistically, I had the Bills bouncing back pretty big. 40-20 is the final score I have in this one. Again, just doesn't really seem like the Panthers are going to really be competitive. But coming into it, no, do I just put this one in boring? No, I'll put it in decent because there's a chance that the Panthers make it interesting. Realistically, is it going to happen? Absolutely not, but who really knows with the red rifle. That's what I got for you guys in this game. Now let's get to an actually legitimately decent game. No, I'm just joking on that one. All right, guys, the only reason that, again, I have any sort of interest in the game is because I know someone is going to this game, and really the only reason he's going is because the tickets were so cheap. And it kind of makes sense because this isn't really a matchup you would have looked at going into the season that you really would have thought is good, and even at this point, still probably isn't very good. But at the end of the day, Patriots come to this game after the 3-game road trip sweep. As again, they left their left Foxborough off of a 42-13 domination of the Panthers back in Week 4. And they have not lost since as they come in blazing hot back home against a Browns team that is also looking on the up and up as they just blew the doors off the Dolphins. But again, it's the Dolphins, so who really cares? But they're again have not had much success through the year this season outside of again a little bit of Joe Flacco magic. And no, Joe Flacco sucked. Dylan Gabriel hasn't really been too effective either. So again, Browns passing offense has not really been a strength for them. But again, Quinshon Judkins certainly has. I need to see a little bit more of Isaiah Bond, and also that offensive line could dominate. Who knows? But again, defensively, they've been really, really good. So, really interesting matchup against Patriots offense, despite having again a good amount of success. Really doesn't, outside of Keyshawn Boutte, have any sort of like true punch or real threat in that offense. Obviously, they have Stephon Diggs, but He's his own deal. But anyway, the Browns haven't been here since 2019, if I'm not mistaken. No, they did come in. My bad. They came in 2021. The Patriots. What was the final score in that game? 45-7. Yeah, the Patriots absolutely destroyed the Browns last time they came here back in 2021, which was 4 years ago. Might be wrong on that. I think I'm right. Anyway, this game though will be 1 o'clock on Fox. Fox 1. And plus of the ways you guys can stream this rare AFC North versus AFC East matchup, I guess the best way to put that. But announcing this game will be Chris Myers, Mark Schroeder, Christina Pink. So again, not Fox's strongest team. 52 degrees, mostly sunny as well for this game. So solid weather again in New England. There, we can see obviously with the freaking the yellow. It's not a ton of the country getting this game. Browns starting lineup. You see David Njoku is questionable. Outside of that, this offense is healthy. Please don't suck. Defensively, they're good. Nothing really changed. I mean, Adam Huntington it doesn't really play, so I mean, why are we talking about him? Need to see Andrew Schmidt hit a 60-yarder. Corey Borokas is also there. I guess Gary LeVar Dane, Dylan Sampson, and whoever the heck that guy is too. And we also have the freaking Patriots too that they're playing in this game. They have a couple more injuries. Not on offense though. Hunter Henry, please have a big fantasy week. I need you like a 30-piece like Gatson had last week. Tommy DeVito's on this team. Kind of forgot about that. Joshua Farmer might even be a Farmer after this game. Kyle Dyer is questionable. Why is Jalen Hawkins starting? I'm so confused. This is just kind of pissing me off, guys. Let me be honest there. This is a 4-year... No, more than that. He's kind of old now, though. He's 29. 5-year starter for you, and you're not playing him. I don't know what you're doing. I do not care that he's not trash in coverage. Jalen Hawkins is a bum. What are we doing, guys? Like, literally was a bum. What are we doing? But anyway, for this game, it's not good. I don't know what to tell you guys. Again, if Shador gets in, we might be changing things. But again, as you saw, Kevin Stefanski's gatekeeping him. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. I hope this game's gonna be decent, but it's not gonna be. So Patriots 45-7 again. Are we just gonna roll with that score from 2021? I think we're just gonna do that. 45-7 is my final prediction with this one. Please, Browns, don't screw me up. I mean, you did last week, which was good, but don't do it this week. This might be the most irrelevant, interesting matchup I've ever seen, as the Niners coming in at 5-2 as they bounced back last week, head to Houston for their first matchup here in a minute as they take on a 2-4 Texans squad that has still not had a consistent offensive performance over a 2-week stretch this season, as they're led by their defense that, despite keeping them in the game, but again, forcing a crap ton of turnovers last week, again, weren't able to get it done against the Niners, against the Seahawks as they ended up losing there. Now they return home here on a short week after a decent amount of travel to face off against this Niners team that, like I said, is looking pretty good as they've had the best coaching job with Robert Saleh. Why did the Jets fire him? And Now Shanahan atop there is they're 5-2 despite being the most injured team I've ever seen. Again, is this really an inflated record? Probably, but at the end of the day, they're winning these games and their defense looks pretty solid so far, despite again the really big injury issues. This game though will be 1 o'clock on Fox. Fox 1 is where you can stream it, as well as NFL Plus. Cannot tell you what happened a couple times. The times these teams have played, but they did play in 2021. Niners won that one. Was it 23-7? I don't really remember. Trey Lance was their quarterback that game. Again, kind of tells you how far back that goes. Kevin Kugler, Daryl Johnson, Allison Williams will be calling this game. For the map, you can see it is in blue. So, West Coast and other people getting this game, I guess, with Rams bye week and all. But for the Niners, you can see Brock Purdy is still out. Mac Jones is, again, healthy. He's ready to go. CMC off his best game of the season. Brian Robinson Jr. also there. Jawan Jennings is healthy-ish. Kendrick Bourne, and obviously Demarcus Robinson. It was nice to see Sky Moore out there, and I definitely think Jordan Watkins will get a little bit of route run in this game. Ricky Pearsall still out. George Kittle's sort of healthy at tight end. Kyle Juszczyk at fullback. Jake Brendel's out. Matt Hennessy will probably start, and the rest of the O-line's healthy. Defensively, Bryce Huff's out. Ichigros Montos is out. Again, we already knew Nick Bosa was out the year. The rest of the D-line's healthy. Michael Williams not coming off his greatest game. Luke Gifford's questionable. Linebacker, they obviously are out. Again, big news. Fred Warner's out for the season, so they really have no good linebackers now. I mean, D. Winters was decent last year, but still. DeAngelo Lenore's questionable. The rest of the secondary is, I guess, healthy from, again, in terms of what they could have had. And again, Malik Mustafa coming back last week. First full game looked pretty good, even though Marquise Siegel did fill in pretty well for him. Not really, but you get the point. Texans now. Nico Collins, Christian Kirk are both out. Yeah, this offense is cooked. I don't even want to talk about the rest of this group. Defensively, I mean, yeah, they're going to be good. Diego Rogers questionable. He played last week. I wouldn't really expect anything different. I think that, what was it? The freaking, it was the knee. Again, I think it not reinvigorated. He re-aggravated it. There we go. So we'll see how that changes. But Kamaya Fairbairn's kicker, Tommy Townsend's a punter. And for this game, It's got to go in at least decent, right? I just think the fact that these offenses really aren't the most fun to watch right now, especially the Texans, because of how bad they are, it kind of keeps it from entertaining. But really, overall, this is the best matchup we've seen so far, despite it still not being one that I really care to see. But anyway, for who I actually think is going to be winning this game, I'm going to say the Niners offense is able to figure some things out. I don't see this game being very much of, again, a great one, but still. Niners win this one 20-16 in a close one. I don't know. Their offense figures it out later or something. That's what I got for you guys there. Now let's get to a very interesting matchup that, again, we just saw like less than 3 weeks ago. Now looking at our first of two national games here, again, in the early window. Fox's featured game this week is the New York Giants and Eagles rematching. Again, like I said, they just played a couple weeks ago. But the rematch between both these teams, as the Giants coming at 2-5 off of one of the worst collapses we've ever seen in Giants history, as they gave up 33. 3-3, yeah. Oh, I shouldn't be putting that up. But 3-3, 33 points, against the Broncos. But again, they're not good. We know that. But at the same time, they also should be better than this. I mean, if Cam Stadler was keep banging his head into a wall, at some point they should just like let him do his thing. But still, this is a Giants team that again is way better than this 2-5 record might say they are. But at the end of the day, they're going to Philly against an Eagles team that is way more talented than they are, despite them being a pretty solid roster overall. Eagles, last week, I guess they were decent. Their defense really didn't do that good, actually, at all, if you think about it. They did hold the Vikings out of the end zone, but really weren't, again, completely answering the questions we did have with them. Again, considering the Vikings could not run the football, I expect the Giants to be a lot more successful again here at the link. But at the same time, this Eagles offense had a pretty darn good day, despite Saquon not really doing much of anything. As, Jalen Hurts finally looked like a competent passer-ish. He still don't really read defenses that much. But still, big bounce back win for them off the mini bye. Giants can come off the mini bye as well. Again, to that collapse. But still, we look at both these teams. Again, should be a pretty, again, like something has to give sort of matchup. But anyway, like I said, they just played back in week 6. Giants dominated that game 34-17. They just wanted it more and simply were the better team. I guess not really because, again, the Eagles kind of sold that one too. But anyway, last year here they played in week 18, and that game really doesn't matter. So there you go. This game, though, will be 1 o'clock on Fox. Fox 1, NFL Plus, the way you guys can stream this big-time game, and I hope that Saquon goes off because I think I might have placed a prop on something. I forget. Anyway, Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi will be calling this game. Weather in Philly for this game, you get 58 degrees. I guess there's wind, not really, and then it's also partly sunny. Giants starting. Oh my bad. Go to the map. You can see. It is the national game. It's kind of like convoluted over here, but overall, you can see. The game gets most of the feature there on the map. Giants starting lineup if this goes unfrozen. There we go. Really nothing changed. I mean, Darius Slayton's healthy, which is good. But other than that, they're basically good to go. O-line, please play better this week, especially in the fourth quarter. Brian Burns is questionable. He's really their NLBL off the edge. DJ Davidson's questionable. Paulson Adebo's out. Art Green will start. There's no way they start Deontay Banks. You're actually an imbecile if you do that. Dable, do not do that. Javon Allen's doubtful. Dane Bellin, you're probably starting even though you're kind of slow. And then I don't even know what else is going on here. They still got Jake Mick miss an extra point there. I guess that's what they're doing there. He missed 2 extra points last week if you didn't get that. But anyway, for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, a quarterback, Saquon, a running back. AJ Brown's out with a hammy injury. Oh no, I'm injured. Maybe they trade him. John Mechie and Xavier Gibson are there as well. Again, none of their guys are really natural receivers. John Mechie's slow as a snail, and Xavier Gibson's not very good. Again, as a receiver though, he's a good returner. Cam Jurgens, Jurg off the field. It's Brett Toth. Oh, that's a rough name. He'll start. Defensively, Azeez Ojulari's out. Brandon Graham's also out. Again, even though, he's just coming out of retirement. That's actually crazy he came back. My guess is he had like 50 cheeseburgers in the offseason. And that was what kind of took him out there. He's so old. He was never really that great either. Kind of overrated. But anyway, I'm not trying to hate on a guy who just came out of retirement, bro. You're actually a dog for doing that. George Jackson's out. And then also we got some other dudes there in the secondary. Again, normal procedure there. Not trying to, again, gloss over you, Cooper DeJean. You're the man. But Jake Elliott, Braden McMahon, I don't even care. All right, this game has got to be going entertaining. I'd say it's must watch, but it really isn't because no, it is. This is a game that I'm gonna be watching this entire game if I can. I'll be honest, guys. You gotta watch. You gotta figure out what happens in this game. For who's gonna win it? I'm actually the Giants figure it out. Again, not a popular pick there, but I'm gonna say they come back and win this one 23-20. Eagles offense struggles kind of come back, but I expect this to be a well played game, and again a lot of defense. Again, or defensive stops that will again at the end of the game really again decide this one. But yeah, give me the Giants, and I guess another upset here. Again, the Eagles. A lot of people think, oh, Eagles have it figured out, but. Not so fast, my friend, on that one. I'm not trying to quote Lee Corso. Please don't ban me for that. Last game of the early window before we get into what is just an absolute abomination of a late window. We do have the Bears and Ravens in what is supposed to be CBS's first game of their doubleheader. There are definitely some interesting things here as the Bears come in at 4-2 for definitely a test here and really trying to knock the Ravens out of any sort of hope they have. Again, 4-game winning streak for the Bears. They have not lost since that absolute embarrassment well over a month ago against the Lions. Back in week 2 where they get 52 points. Caleb Williams has been a little bit better at times. He's at least gotten through some progressions. And also, considering how they played last week, they have been a pretty consistent overall team as their defense has done their thing. But realistically, I'm just excited to see how they can run the ball against this Ravens defense that has been absolutely booty cheeks this year. As outside of, no, not even outside of, they've been bad all year. They were at least not too bad against the Rams, but it really does not even matter. Their offense was like literally like a freaking dead horse in that one. But Lamar is back. So if he can save this team's butt, which he should be able to because he is the most valuable quarterback in the entire NFL, you can't tell me I'm wrong. Yeah. They might figure things out. Who knows? But they're on a 4-game losing streak. My bad. They haven't won in they haven't won since the same day the Bears got blown out. Maybe there's something there. But yeah, not really. Yeah, we'll see what happens. This game's at 1 o'clock on CBS. NFL Plus, Paramount Plus, you guys can stream. First game of CBS's doubleheader here. But anyway, yeah, the Bears haven't been here in a long time. Who really cares? They did win all their games against the AFC North back in 2017. Useful information for you guys to know, but just again, good thing to remember, I guess. And also, they did play 4 something like that years ago. Ravens didn't have Lamar in that one, so I guess that's something there. But anyway, for the Ravens, 59 degrees here at their home stadium, mostly cloudy as well. Announcing this game will be Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt, and Evan Washburn. J.J. Watt was absolutely amazing to listen to last week during that Colts and Chargers game. Map is, yeah, they really want to push this game, to say the least. For the Bears, though, DeAndre Swift is questionable. It's definitely an interesting development. Roshan Johnson's definitely not a guy you want to see out there right now, considering he's out for this game. And Travis Hunter, who knows? Not Travis Hunter. Travis Homer, bro. Who knows what happened with him? Cole Kmet's out. Close to Loveland. Durham Smythe will be at tight end. Braxton Jones is out for this game. O-line, Theo Benedict will start. He's actually fun to watch. And then defensively, I mean, Tyreek Stevens and Kyle Gordon are being out. Not optimal for this defense. Kyle Santos is questionable as well, but realistically, they're not going to really stand a chance. Lamar is back, but he's questionable. That's all I'll say there. He's probable, right? Damn it. If he doesn't play, bro, you got to be kidding me. Hopefully he does. Derrick Henry, Justice Hiller in the backfield. Keenan Mitchell also there. Not going to get out on the field, though. He probably won't even be active. Offensively, you know, they got their things doing. No one else is injured, thankfully. Defensively, though, outside of our Darius Washington being out for the year, again, most of their group is healthy. Now maybe and BK being the huge loss there, but other than that, they don't really have too many excuses to make. I really need to see Mike Green produce, though, because he has not been anything of sort of note outside of some decent power rush reps this season. Tyler Loop is their kicker, Jordan Stout's their punter, and, you know, they got other guys there as well. This game, for me, I got to put it in entertaining just because, again, if Lamar plays, this is going to be a good football game. Can't put it in must-watch because Lamar might not play, but I'm taking the risk and putting that game here. But anyway, for the prediction, I'm gonna actually go with the Ravens again, just banking on Lamar playing. If he doesn't play, I'm cooked here. But again, Ravens won this one on a really nice game, 30-25. I expect this game to be very fun to watch and probably the best game in the early window as well. All right, now moving out of the early window to our final 4 games here. Again, as there's only one game in the late afternoon regional window, and that is the Bucs and Saints, which means there is a chance this game will be the only game you can be watching for a minute before again we get to the national window, which will be in a minute. But the Bucs come in off a kind of tough loss on a short week here to New Orleans to take on the Saints, who are again 1-6. Bucs again pretty decent opportunity to bounce back here. As again offensively they really struggled to again score much of anything against the Lions last week as they were held to under double-digit points. As Baker Mayfield had kind of an abominable performance overall. The film made it even worse as they again fell to 5-2, snapping their 2-game winning streak, something like that. Whatever though, they're still atop the division if I'm not mistaken, and they again very easily can get again some separation. I don't know. No, the Falcons probably won't blow it, but still, at least a game and a half separation if they're able to figure this game out. No, I think it's really still a game. Who knows? Saints, again, they're 1-6. They're not a very good football team, but as I've always said for them, they will be competitive. They're just not a good team. So again, you can kind of like make a comparison there. But Spencer Rattler's still their starting quarterback. Hopefully he doesn't throw 3 picks this game, but maybe he does if they win. Who knows? The Bucs last year came in here and absolutely blew up the Saints. It was actually close for a while. Spencer Rattler started that game too. It was like 27-23, I think, at some point. Then the Bucs just absolutely went crazy. I think Baker threw like 5 touchdowns. That was actually a pretty fun game to watch until again it was a blowout. They won that one 51-27, pretty crazy. And then Sean Tucker even got in the end zone in that game. Kind of tells you how that one went. But this game will be at 4:05 on Fox 1 as well as NFL Plus. Again, like I said, don't want to miss this one again if you're a big time fan of both these teams. Cannon Albert, Jonathan Miller, Megan Levy will be calling this game. For the map, as you can see, it is in green. Fair amount of the country's getting this game, as you can see. Not terribly. Nothing. Jesus. Nothing's getting snubbed here. For the Bucks, though, Baker's a quarterback. Bucky Irving's still out. I'm pissed. Again, I don't know why I drafted him in the second round. Rashad White, Sean Tucker are there. Chris Godwin's still not healthy. Mika Buka, Sterling Shepard, Tez Johnson there as well. Again, prayers to Mike Evans that he gets healthy. He is unk, and his receiving streak record is no longer, again, going to be happening. It's done. It's kind of sad. Kate on at tight end. Luke Haggard's out. Oh, my God. They're down to their freaking fourth string guard. That's actually crazy. I don't even know how that's possible. But anyway, Vita Vea is questionable. Elijah Roberts, Logan Hall are there. Elijah Simmons, I guess, would start. I don't really know. They probably give Greg Gaines a look and nose tackle despite the fact that he hasn't been able to stop a cold against the run this year. Yaya Diaby, Hassan Reddick's out, and Anthony Nelson's also there. How many sacks does Greg Gaines have? Yeah, he gives one. That's what I thought. Not great pressure rate, though, which, again, is kind of rare for him because, again, that's kind of what you see from him at nose tackle, which is weird. But anyway, Dennis, David are linebackers, and the secondary is good to go, and, the normal stuff for the rest of this Bucks team. Thank God they're healthy there. Then what do we else? We got the Saints now. Like I said, Spencer Rattler's still their starter. Injuries are normal. Devin Neal, I thought Kendrick Miller tore his ACL. Prayers to him to get healthy. But the rest of the group's good. Defensively, normal injuries. I guess they brought in Julian Blackmon, and he's on IR. Who knows? Jonas Sankar, the rookie, starting now. Any other interesting developments? Devon Gotcha, Brian Brzee had good games last week. But than that, that's all I really got here. Blake Ruby, Kai Kruger could be better. Anyway, for this game, I'm going to put this one in decent. I think it'll be close, at least for a while. And either way, guys, that game last year, Bucks Saints, Week 6, was a fun game to watch. Which, again, at the end of the day, if that's what this ends up being, that's fine. I see this game being somewhat high scoring. Actually, I think this will be a 60-plus point over on this game. So I'm going to say the Bucks win this one. We're going to say 34-28. 34-28 Bucks in this game. Saints might, score some garbage time points. But again, I see this game being a little more high scoring than a lot of other people anticipate. Now let's get to a game that, I don't even know how to talk about it. Oof. Unless Cam Ward turns into the quarterback that the number one pick that, again, everyone never thought he was going to be. This game, I don't even think we need to talk about this game too much. But anyways, Colts coming at 6-1. They have the best record in football. Yeah, they actually do, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, the best record in football. Again, I still can't believe that actually is true. But again, one of only two lone-loss teams, which we'll cover actually in a little bit, again, for the last prediction here. But yes, Colts, 6-1, best record in football, coming off a massive win as their offense continues to roll. The Raiders and the Titans, who are obviously one of the worst teams in football, they didn't really play well at all against last week against Patriots, as they had a bunch of turnovers and got blown out 31-13. They're not a good team. They can fire their head coach like a week or so ago, and they're just not very good. They're kind of just like prancing around, doing their own thing, and losing a bunch of games. But Titans last year when they came here again into Indy, it really wasn't pretty either, right? What was even the score? 38-30. Never mind. Oh yeah, that was a game that the Colts were up like 30-7, almost blew that game. That was actually kind of crazy. But realistically, hopefully it won't be like that. 4:25 on CBS, NFL Plus, Paramount Plus are the again ways you can stream this. This is also again the complement to CBS's national game in the in the national window here. You got Andrew Catalon, Charles Davis, Jason McCourty, and AJ Ross calling this game. Map, as you can see, not much country will be getting this game. For the Titans, Cam Ward quarterback, Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears are in the backfield. Calvin Ridley is once again out for this game. Elgin Amari, Shamar Deku did have a nice touchdown last week, and Van Jefferson, a receiver. Rest of the offense outside of Bryce Oliver being out again. Blake Hance also out again. They're basically good to go. Defensively, Jeffrey Simmons is out. That's a big loss. James Lynch will start. Maybe even Shy Tuttle. Who knows? Shy Tuttle's definitely a more talented player, but he doesn't really fit that 3-tech spot right now. Arnie is questionable. Xavier Woods is also questionable, but other than that, they're good to go. Oh yeah, also L'Jarius Sneed does like some, I don't even know what happened to him. Is it a hip injury? No, quadriceps. That's what it was. He's their most talented player in that secondary, so not really good. Roger McCreary's kind of just been doing his own thing too. Not really too much of a success as we've seen for the past couple of years. For the Colts, realistically, I don't even need to talk about them. We all know they're really good. Tyquan Lewis, my bad, is questionable. Samson Ebukam will be out for this game, which is definitely something to note. And Travarius Ward obviously being on IR, and Jalen Jones as well. They're good to go outside of that, though. Definitely a little bit more susceptible secondary, despite having Kenny more back. Just the fact that, again, Jonathan Edwards might get out there, which is not get out there. He will get out there. And the fact that I have no idea who he is. Again, absolutely UDFA. No, I do, because I watched some of him last year. But anyway, Badgley, Sanchez, Gold, and Rhodes are their special teamers. This game is obviously going in boring. This is the least competitive game of the week. There's really no other way to put it. Again, there's no reason you should watch this game. Colts, Jonathan Taylor runs for 260 yards. They win 52-3. Yeah, that's a score for you guys. Now let's get to the two best games here on Sunday. All right, as I said, these are the two best games of the week, and presumably they're on the two biggest spotlights this week. As the Cowboys will be heading to Denver for their first matchup here since 2017, as their with their insanely red-hot offense, as they have scored almost 30 points in every single game this season. No, that's not true. Something like that, though. And also, again, they've been average 40 per game at home, as they're coming off a 44-point outburst against the Commanders last week. Again, as their defense isn't remotely awful in that blowout victory. They're now at 500 at 3-1 exactly. Meanwhile, the Broncos come in 4 straight wins, all in very insane fashion. As again, last week we all know right here, they put together one of the most insane comebacks ever, as they put up 33 points in the fourth quarter to pull off that insane upset. But at the end of the day, it was just another win. So that's what I'll say there. They have the opportunity to get 6-2 for the first time since 2016, but I'm going to keep telling you that season, they were 7-3 as well. Didn't make the playoffs. So again, this team's got like doing 10 games like they did last year to really presume that there. But like I said, they haven't played since 2017 here. The Broncos, that was in a week 2 game. They won that one 42-17. So it was a really profounding performance by them in that one. But this time it'll be at 4:25, not on Fox, but on CBS. Advil Plus, Paramount Plus will be the ways you guys can stream this game. For the weather, it's going to be 66 degrees, a little bit of wind, partly sunny, so I think that does go to advantage a little bit of the Cowboys in this one. Announcing this game will be Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, obviously CBS's top team. Map-wise, basically the entire country gets this game. There's really nothing much else to it there. For the Cowboys, though, Dak Prescott's a quarterback. Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue are in the backfield. Really no one else is even close to healthy. Tyler Guy in their left tackle's questionable, but other than that, they're basically good to go. For this defense, their entire secondary is really banged up. DeMarvin Overshown is still not back, and we're looking like before Thanksgiving there. Marshall Nealon's questionable as well. Again, Shervon Revel, do we have any update on his return? You bet we don't. Again, I'll just see him get a pick 6 or something, and remember that's him. Donovan Wilson's out. Wanye Thomas questionable, which means Elijah Clark, their third string, not even that. He's like their 5th string free safety. He can get out there. Trayvon Diggs is out again, so Kalen Carson, my guess, would start. Kyler Elam is just not the dude. And then outside that, Brandon Aubrey's the kicker. And again, in Denver. First time he's in Denver. Watch out. He could hit the record in this game. That's what I'll say there. That is again, there's anything I'll say, like, in terms of, like, interesting things, it's Brandon Aubrey getting the shot maybe to kick the game. Again, if we look at the wind, it's not great for this game. It's only 2 miles per hour. With the elevation, there is a shot that he could break the record this game if he gets the opportunity. Who knows? Bo Nix, Jared Stidham's his backup. Honestly, I don't even care. Their offense really didn't change that much. Again, outside of obviously some of these injuries here. Defensively, Drake Greenlaw got suspended for who knows what. What's the suspension? 1 game suspension up until Tuesday. I don't know why he got suspended. I'm confused. I really don't remember what happened. But the rest of their defense is healthy. Willot's Jeremy Crawshaw and a bunch about the nobodies there. Round things out. Mitchell Fraboni though. Fraboni, their long snapper, is not a nobody. Don't be dissing him like that. This is obviously the game of the week though. I'm not gonna really try to pretend to you guys. This is the game that again I hope that you're gonna be watching on Sunday. That's what I'll say there. But for who's gonna win it, I really don't even care, to be honest with you guys. I'm gonna say the Broncos will pull off some more BS, get to 6-2, 31-28 in OT. There's your final score. Interesting game, I guess. I guess I didn't pick the Colts there, but 31-28. Now let's get the most interesting game, obviously that being the Sunday nighter. All right, in the game that'll wrap up tomorrow night, we have the Packers and Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Obviously, the elephant in the room. I don't even need to get into it, but again, it sucks this game isn't in Lambeau because that would be very interesting to watch. But the Steelers of a pretty disappointing game in Cincinnati last Thursday night, coming off again a mini bye week as it gets set to face off against the other lone one-loss team. Again, the lone NFC one-loss team being the Packers, who come in with a very, very pretty 4-1. That's an ugly record. 4-1 and run, soccer-esque record as they again head to Pittsburgh first time since 2017. Don't even ask me what happened in that game. I could never tell you. They did play in 2021 though. The Packers lost, won that one 27-17 pretty well with obviously you know who at quarterback. But for the Packers last week, really wasn't the greatest win. Again, Jordan Love didn't play awesome. They still did enough to figure it out. Closing that one out with a comeback victory, 27-23. They come into this one in at least decent shape. Steelers, you really never know. But again, without the Ravens coming back, maybe they get a big time win. Bengals playing, I guess, the Jets. There's a chance they're only half a game up after being like 2.5 up. Well, you look back again to that a couple Sundays ago where again the Packers beat the Bengals. So it's kind of crazy here for the Steelers. In fact, they could really not be where they want to be after tonight. But anyway, for this game, it'll be at 8:20 on NBC as always for Sunday Night Football as well as Universo. My bad. NFL Plus, I guess you can stream it on, as well as Peacock and some other random things as well. Pittsburgh, weather 47 degrees, you get clear skies, 6-mile-per-hour winds. Pretty typical Pittsburgh weather at this point of the year. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, and Melissa Stark are on the call for this game, as they always do for Sunday Night Football. Packers, Again, starting lineup, you see Matthew Golden is questionable. Downhaven Wicks will not be playing this game. Only old reliable Romeo Dobbs will be out there for sure. Josh Jacobs and Amanda Wilson are there as well. Tucker Kraft, tight end. Luke Musgrave will get out there a lot. If I had to guess in this game, definitely just trying to be a little more multiple in this game. And then their offensive line is healthy. Again, also a good thing to mention. A lot of people talk about how the defenses have to be multiple. Offenses have to be too. Again, there's definitely something to that. Lucas Vanessa is not playing in this game. Devontae White is also questionable, but the rest of the defense is about as healthy as they will be the rest of the year. Then for the Steelers, there we go. Scotty Miller's out. Oh, boo, woo, boo, hoo, whatever. Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell coming off a pretty fun game. Aaron Rodgers don't throw picks. And Zach Frazier, who's been a great center, not great this year, is questionable. Defensively, honestly, don't even care, but they're healthy-ish. Derek Harmon, prove me wrong, bro. Keep doing your own thing out there. Chris Boswell, Corliss Waitman, and a bunch of other who's are there as well. All right, this game, obviously, I got to put it in the game of the week just because of, again, with Aaron Rodgers and all that. Again, you got to watch this game. Like, there's no way around that. Like, there's a reason they scheduled these two games. Really, just two solid games at the end of the day. But anyway, for who's going to win this game, I'm going to say the Steelers' run game actually is what, again, isolates this game. And I say that their offense is able to kind of maintain a little more possession, kind of holding the Packers out of their rhythm, and they're able to figure this one out 25-21. I expect it to be a pretty solid game overall. That is all I have with you guys here for the Sunday predictions. Hope you guys enjoy all the games. Get ready for the Monday Night prediction coming out sometime on Monday. Again, for the first time in a couple weeks, don't expect the Sunday recap to come out late on like Monday morning or something. Not late, like early or like late Sunday night. Again, it's probably gonna be like later Monday night this time. So just get ready for that. But again, Monday football, I'll have predictions for that coming out Monday at sometime earlier in the day as well. But that's all I got for you guys here. Enjoy your Sunday.
Up today. Broncos come with a blitz. Quick throw. Pass on fourth down. Picked off. This is Talib. Still going. Looking for another pick six. Prescott in his way. Talib. He's going to go. No flags. Talib. Touchdown. The 10th of his career. He can play. Oh, he can play. He's one of the smartest corners in football. And